from the frat house. We are outside today because it is gorgeous. It does not feel like the end of July, and I'm totally okay with that. I do not need it to be any hotter than about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm a big wimp. I don't do heat, you guys. But it's beautiful outside, so we are outside today. This will be the week 3 update for me for One Book July 2014. I really didn't do a whole lot that was different this week as far as the planning stuff goes. It's been a really chaotic week. Nice quiet day today. The last 3 days have been mind-blowingly chaotic. So I kind of have mush for brains today. And so today's a quiet day. Tomorrow night, all the chaos will start again, and we've got a heck of a week this week. So we'll see. You guys, you may not be able to find me. I may be hiding in a corner somewhere from all the chaos. And I'm going to apologize in advance since we're outside. The neighborhood hawk, yes, we have a neighborhood hawk. Beautiful. He's been yelling all day. I don't know what's going on. I hope he's okay. But I don't hear him right now. He has just been screeching like mad since like 6 o'clock this morning. So I hope he's okay. So maybe he'll make an appearance here. Let's see. So not a whole lot different this week. One decision that I did make over the last couple of days is I'm going to start taking another class because I need to take another class, you guys. I am finding that all of the code that I am cramming into my brain needs to be balanced out with something creative. And that is not to say that you can't be creative with code, because you can totally be creative with code. I don't know enough yet to be able to be creative with it. So I am going to start a journaling class that Romany offers. I just got in there today, so I've just been poking around a little bit. I need to find out once I start. I'm sorry, we have 2 chipmunks, and one of them's sitting over here staring at me, wondering why I'm talking to the iPad, I think. He's so cute. Because it's One Book July, whatever journaling I start will be started in my small book, right? And I don't know how I'm going to work that out yet. I would like to keep it all together, but I don't think that's necessary either. I think that's my brain, you guys. Once I start something new, I have to start a new notebook, which is kind of silly, but compartmentalized thinking, right? So so over the next, end of July, beginning of August here, I'll show you guys how that's going, okay? I'm really excited by that. I need something to balance out all of the analytical stuff that's going into my brain. This week definitely taught me that. Working in the small book for One Book July also taught me that, because if I have blank paper cut down to that field note size, I'm not nearly as intimidated by it as I am by something larger. A lot of times a large blank page will kind of freak me out. And it took me all these years to figure that out, why I would sit down and look at a page and my brain would lock up. So that is one of the other big lessons that One Book July has taught me, that if a big page intimidates you for whatever, for writing, for sketching, for drawing, for painting, use a smaller page. It seems so simple, but I didn't think that way. So I will, as that gets going, I'll show you guys how it's going, okay? So I am going to probably scare the chipmunk by getting up here, but I'm going to flip the camera around and I'll show you how week 3 looked, okay? Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye. Alrighty, my peeps. Of course, we are starting, so the wind is picking up. It hasn't been windy all day. And I did scare the chipmunk away, and I still don't hear the hawk. I was kind of hoping he'd give us one good screech while I had the camera going. He's something. So there's the one book. I just can't get over how gorgeous this thing is. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys in the intro. I had said before that I didn't know why I never used my bookmarks in my leather notebooks. I usually just tuck them, back down in behind the inserts and just kind of forget about them. Which is silly. I could just cut them out, but I usually just tuck them in case I end up wanting them. And I don't know what it is about my notebooks from Jennifer. I use my bookmarks. But I figured out what my issue is with why I generally don't use them. This is so strange. I am one, if I'm going to put tabs in a book, I almost always put them at the top, especially if I have my pen slipped in the side, because obviously that's going to crush any tabs I put on the side, right? So I always put my tabs at the top. I've never been one to use, in fact, I tried in my Malden. I tried using bottom tabs, and I don't know what it is. They drove my brain insane. I always go to the top and then pull open, like, so I go to the tab and I pull it open this way. So if you think about all the notebooks that you see that have bookmarks in them, the bookmarks run through the top and stick out the bottom. Well, I don't use the bottom for tabs, so I wouldn't use it for bookmarks like this either. Like when I stick a bookmark in a book, it sticks out the top. So that's, what, I don't know, my brain has been trained to like. So I don't know, I'm afraid to take anything apart, but I'm seriously thinking about, I don't know if it would come out of here or not. I'm going to get in touch with Jennifer, because see the little charm that she attached here, that is attached to the string that makes both bookmarks, and I don't want to take that apart. But I'm thinking I might try it in my black Midori, just undoing the notebook and running it through here so that it sticks out the top instead, because then I'm 99% sure I would use them more. Now in this smaller size book, I use these two bookmarks all the time, so I couldn't tell you what the difference is, you guys. My brain is strange. So let's get this out. Still using the same pen. I'm beginning to worry about my ink in my pink and my blue black, but we might make it. We've got, 12 more days, so I might make it. And in here, first book, still pretty much the same. I really haven't been reading a whole lot because, ta-da, because Romany got me watching Hemlock Grove. And I'm going to tell you something I learned this morning, you guys. If you think, very misguided thinking, but if you think that you can just put Hemlock Grove on the iPad for 5 minutes while you make your tea and coffee in the morning, let me be the first to tell you that you can just forget about that. Because I did that this morning. I'll just watch 5 minutes real quick because that's how I get through pretty much anything, is in bits and pieces, right? Because there's so many people here. Well, this morning, Liam and I were the only ones home, so I was making coffee. He wasn't up yet, and I popped the iPad on, and I put, wherever I was in Hemlock Grove in, made my tea and my coffee, and then stood there riveted to the counter for 22 minutes and didn't move until I finished that episode. So yes, there goes July. So I haven't been doing really any reading, because what reading time I've been spending watching Hemlock Grove. I am, however, starting season 2 today. So I think once I get through that, I'll be reading some more again. It was a chaotic week, so the little bits and pieces that I could get in of watching this was total escapism for me, and I needed it, so it was perfect. So the rest of that notebook is blank. That's the same one that was in there before. I haven't added any notebooks or taken anything out. This one I added just some journaling stuff. There was, journaling I'd already done. You guys have seen that. This is a surprise, so you can't see it. There are some, I showed you guys this before, just YouTube ideas and requests from people. This is an idea I'm kind of exploring, some Google Helpouts stuff, ideas for essays. And then a quote that I liked. I showed you guys this stuff last week. The post that Romany had made in the Midori Traveler's Notebook Resources Facebook group about journaling. A quote from Dan Brown's book, The Narrowboat Lad. I love this quote. I have an essay going about this quote because I can't get it out of my head. It says, "Move the boat as far as you can and be happy about it." And I need to, I want to publish this essay, so I need to get a hold of Dan and make sure he's cool with that. So when that's done, I'll send it to him. Hi, Dan. And then this last week, Mike was in Chicago because the Chicago Blackhawks had prospect camp this last week. And he would go out after their day was done at the rink and, go for a walk, go get something to eat. And he's walking along and we're talking on the phone and he says, hang on, I got to take a picture and send it to you. And this is what he saw. He says I look like Tinkerbell. I think he's insane. Since I dyed my hair red now, I'm Punkerbell apparently, but he saw this and I texted him back and I said, my minions are everywhere always watching. So I slapped that in there because I knew it would remind me of how goofy it was that he sent me a freaking picture of Tinkerbell. And then here's this week in the planner. Index has obviously been added to just because we've gotten through some more time. Remember how I said I probably wouldn't need 2 pages for the index? You guys would think I'd know by now, right? Like, I mark everything in the index or the contents page. So that's how far I am there. There's what the monthly calendar looks like. Just some stuff added in here. The pencil stuff was stuff I had in there before that I wasn't sure about the time, like before the month started. So I'm starting to go over those in that blue black ink because I know those times are definite now. There's the task list for the month. You guys have seen all of this. Here is for this last week. So this was week 29. A lot of stuff with the kids this week. So I didn't have a whole lot of tasks that weren't already assigned to a specific day. A couple of my boys went to the cabin with my cousin, and oh man, are they homesick. I feel so bad. They're so homesick, and they come home tomorrow. So I feel bad for them. So thankfully they've got, you know, they can text and call and whatnot. So there weren't a whole lot of weekly tasks this week. A lot of running with the kids. The kids had plans, you know, eye doctor appointment and whatnot. Did a video on Monday. So this was just a lot of time like playing with the kids and, you know, packing stuff. And I did print out some pictures this week. I haven't done this in a while. I've been arguing horribly with my printer. So for a little while here, I got things going. So this was some knitting that I did while I was watching Hemlock Grove on Wednesday. We chose to have a fairly quiet afternoon. You know what, now that I'm thinking about it, that was actually on Tuesday, not on Wednesday. I put it on the wrong day. Oh well. And that was the picture I sent Mike so he could approve of the red hair. I feel like this is the most boring walkthrough ever, you guys. And then there's yesterday and today. A lot of times I'll find pictures like that people have posted on Instagram and whatnot, and I'll print them out and because I like the quotes and put them in here. So that is where we are. There is today, and there's Sunday, and then I probably won't need this page again. And then just as a sneaky peek, here is next week, so far at least. I know I've still got stuff schedule-wise to fill in over here, but I'm waiting to hear from some people. And then here's what next week looks like. I did it a little bit differently. I got some, it's not digital scrapbook paper, it's to make like magnets with, and I will find the link for the Etsy shop that I got this from, and I'll put it down below for you guys. Those and these all came from the same Etsy shop, if I remember correctly. So they're just to make like magnets, you know, the plastic, you'd put this inside, there'd be a backing, and then the plastic on top, the clear plastic, and I just love the colors of them, so that is for next week. And then what I'm thinking is if I start any sketching or anything, I figured out that to go through the same setup with my weekly chart, my weekly calendar, my daily pages is going to take me through the end of July, is going to be to here, if I remember correctly. Maybe it was to this page. So starting from here, I'm going to use the back of this for any sketching. I don't sketch. You guys, like, I don't sketch at all. I'm so interested in it. I could sit and watch people draw and sketch and paint for hours and be completely just amazed by it. So I'm just curious. I'm just curious to see what I can learn. So, and then in here, there were some, I did find some little, I think these may have been on Pinterest, some little journaling cards. I cut them out really roughly, and then if I use them, I'll trim off the white pieces, but just to add some different stuff in there. And then here were a bunch of pictures that I printed out that I still need. Here's what Romany says I'll look like with teal hair. So these are a bunch of pictures I printed out that I want to add to my crazy kid, that I want to add to the journal. So I just haven't gotten to that yet. So that is it. I feel like that's like the most boring run through ever. Not a whole lot different. I didn't do anything different planning wise. I just added quite a few things to like those running lists of projects. A lot of stuff on that surprise project page that I can't show you guys. You'll find out about that at the beginning of August. And then just the stuff I printed out. So, but like I said, it wasn't so much this week about changing this. This setup is working for me right now. Like I said in last week's update video, this week will be the test to see if this is going to work in a truly chaotic week, because this week coming up is pretty much the start of the chaos again, right through to school starting. So I know long term, I don't think I could be content planning in a book this size. I really do miss my larger. I also miss having pre-printed inserts. My brain likes pre-printed inserts, so I do miss my DIY fish inserts. However, I don't miss them enough to let this go. I like the structure of a pre-printed page, but I will definitely be seeing this through the month, only because it seems like every week I learn something else by doing this. And that's, to me, the idea of doing a challenge is, what am I going to learn from it? It's not to frustrate yourself. It's not to throw off your whole world because you dumped the 4 journals and planners that you used to squeeze into one. It's, what can I learn from it? And the idea that I cannot be as intimidated by a smaller page is enlightening to me. That's enlightening. I know it probably sounds like the simplest thing in the world, but that's very enlightening to me. So when July is over, this little book will definitely be in use. The reading and watching journal will still be in there. I'm going to, I think, I'm going to find out what kind of paper would be, good. I'm going to, fiddle with some paper at the beginning of August. I'll put probably a blank paper insert in here for sketching and whatnot, and then I'll probably leave the back one, that grid paper from that Mikkel Reuse notebook that I used to make my planner in here. I have a ton of that paper, so I'm probably I like that grid paper, so I'll leave that in there as well. So this book will not be going away at the end of the month. That much is absolutely certain. So make sure you guys show us what you have going on. Remember to hashtag everything One Book July 2014, regardless of where you're posting it. And I will talk to you guys next week, okay? Thank you so much. Bye-bye.